The Dragon Ball universe is a very big on its own, but it's gotten bigger ever since Dragon Ball Super released into the lore and mythos of Dragon Ball, having multiple universes, having a legit multiverse. Not to mention one universe on its own is basically a macrocosm with multiple different universe-side structures in one universe on its own. Dragon Ball is a supernatural fantasy universe in general. It has different type of species throughout the universe. You got the Frieza species, the Saiyans, Emperor Pilaf's species, whatever species that is, with Garlic Jr., even though he's not canon, but yeah, the Emperor Pilaf is canon. So you got the deities, the freaking angels, you even got the Namekians. Now, speaking of the Namekians, let's talk about probably the most famous Namekian, Piccolo. There's a little bit of layers to figure out to really determine how strong Piccolo is. For one, he has an interesting friendship with Gohan and has trained Gohan from a very young age to control his energy, even training Gohan to sharpen up his fighting skills even as an adult. In fact, their relationship is so cool. Gohan's even asked Piccolo to give him outfits to show further respect for Piccolo. Dragon Ball isn't the most complex anime when it comes to the fact it's a fighting anime, physical strength, punching power, all that good stuff. Weightlifting to get stronger is a big deal. And in turn, weightlifting to get stronger, honing your energy manipulation techniques. Characters can perform energy blasts thanks to how much energy they have stored up by increasing their life energy inside of them to produce projectiles like energy blast power. And that's the main thing that Dragon Ball specializes in, is blast power. But how strong is Piccolo though? For one, Piccolo's one of those characters that get stronger as time goes by. He's one of those characters that rarely ever slacks off in training, when even Gohan slacks off sometimes. You can think part of his character for being so strong is because he's basically a fusion character. Currently in the mythos, one could say he's basically a fusion of two other Nameks, so it's like, say, 3 Namekians in one body. But let's dissect him, shall we? He has his base form, which is green, and he even has technically his Super Saiyan transformation, which is showed off in a new movie called Orange Piccolo. What I'm gonna get into that later on in this video. Dragon Ball characters' fighting speed is what they specialize in. Piccolo has a lot of this. Matter of fact, him and Goku in this particular situation was in a martial arts tournament. They was moving so fast, the whole crowd, even superhumans like Kami, this is when he wasn't fused with Kami, by the way, they could not see him. Not even characters like Tien, even great fighters like Master Roshi, Krillin, Yamcha, they was too fast for even superhumans that are way faster than bullets. Weak human martial artists, he can beat them with a finger flick. Even strong warriors like Krillin, he's handled. Even back in these old days, during his brutal fight with Goku, even broke Goku's leg. Piccolo has techniques exclusive to his race, along with the standard energy blast and all the other stuff like that. There seems to be a common theme in Dragon Ball, that if you have big ears, you can hear extra good compared to everybody else. Piccolo has this ability, super hearing. Like, he's one of the few that can regenerate. Stretch like Mr. Fantastic. He has full-blown telekinesis like shown in the new movie. Moving all these rocks to use them as a weapon if need be. Yeah. He can get gigantic. I'm talking very big. The only caveat is that it's literally just size. He's not really getting stronger when he gets this big. And when it comes to his raw power, him getting bigger doesn't change his strength, confirmed in the new movie, even when he's in his newest form. So if you see him grow to the size of a building, just know that he had that ability to lift hundreds and thousands of tons even while small size. It didn't change anything. It's confirmed it's just a bluff, really, on getting bigger. Just a bigger target, honestly. But then he also has key energy-based techniques that's not exclusive to his race, like blast power, energy projection, and one of his most famous abilities is the special beam cannon, where it's like basically a piercing knife type of attack, energy blast. He has attacks like the scatter shot, where you can shoot a whole bunch of energy blasts to surround the enemy and control them, and then blast them at you without you being able to escape because you're surrounded by the energy blast. Then he has the technique to be able to split himself up into clones, but the only caveat is that his power gets divided by how many clones he makes. Another ability that seems to be exclusive to him is, one could say, matter manipulation via magic, or some could say. This is shown consistently throughout the series on how he's able to make clothes for different people, or even himself, or repair his own clothes. And again, in the new movie, he's even changed Gohan's clothes with like matter manipulation, magic type stuff. I mean, look how he was able to literally make this thing in the Buu saga out of the blue. Like, yeah, he can just straight up matter manipulate and create stuff. Makes you wonder why he never created like a blade or weapon during combat. Maybe they wasn't strong enough for combat. You know, what do you think in the comments below about that? Most fighters in Dragon Ball can fire energy from their hands. That's like a common thing. But Piccolo's one of those rare folks that can fire energy from his antenna, eye laser, mouth blast. So fighting Piccolo, you really have to be on your toes, because you just don't know where on his body his energy might come from. It's one of the characters we've seen actually use electric type of attacks to shock you, like elemental type status. A lot of different key techniques, but there's no point in naming all of them. They're just different variations of just energy getting blasted at you. Since Piccolo and Kami are basically one being, whatever Kami can do, Piccolo can do too. He can do this technique called the evil containment wave that pretty much seals opponents up. This is great against beings that are like immortal and stuff like that. And there's like literally no better option. I mean, I've already been talking about energy blast, but let's talk about the destructive capacity. He has omnidirectional attacks too, to wipe out a big area all at once in multiple directions, like a literal nuclear blast, mighty enough to wipe out a whole bunch of buildings, cause tidal waves. In his early days, to really get an understanding of how much blast power these characters actually have, he actually is one of those few characters that have a flashy feat of actually blasting the moon away. Not to mention, this is more impressive than you think, he blasted it away so much to the point where it was not enough debris to fall to the earth after he did it. Remember, blasting a planet in half is not the same as blasting it into smithereens or to vapor. So this moon shattering feat isn't simply just moon shattering power alone. It's actually much more to take away the excess debris. And I don't want to add fuel to the fire, but this is just a simple regular blast. If a simple regular blast can destroy moon-sized structures, what the heck can a super powerful focus blast that triples his strength or blast power do, like a special beam cannon? I didn't just make up his energy being tripled. When it comes to super special attacks like this, it's literally confirmed via power levels. Even if you don't want to take them completely Bible, there is some truth to them, considering how much more blast power they have. I mean, we already know it could blast through mountains like butter. That would be considered an oversimplification if we're being honest. So just a normal old energy blast without a super dense energy blast, he can blast with moon vaporizing power, but then he can go even farther. With a special beam cannon, he should obviously be at least 3 times vaporizing levels of power at this point, based on the power levels increasing 3 times in this arc when he used the special beam cannon. Of course, you guys know he trains really hard. He wears literal weighted clothing that's suppressing his power, also training him at the same time. When he takes it off, he's way faster and stronger. And throughout the series, he makes progress to the point where he can even battle the tyrant known as Frieza. Part of this is because he did fuse with another Namekian, one of the 2 different fusions he's going to get throughout this series. This is before he fused with both of the characters. He was able to battle the tyrant Frieza in his second freaking form. This is impressive as heck. Considering Frieza is the reason planet Vegeta got destroyed, a full-size planet, not a moon, how would destroying a planet equate to destroying a small star? Is because vaporizing it into almost pretty much nothingness without no debris takes a lot more force than simply like splitting it in half or something. And guess what? Piccolo, thanks to fusion, was able to battle a Frieza that's in a higher state that's at least double that power. Second form Frieza, who's like at least small star levels right here, Piccolo literally used his arm to literally smack this beam away with brute strength. Not only that, but then blast Frieza himself in this state. See, it's feats like this, even though energy projection is what they specialize in this universe, destructive capacity of their energy, that shows that their brute physicals ain't bad either, because they're physically still able to flex stuff with brute strength, even though energy projection is what they specialize in. So they can punch hard and blast hard. Piccolo at least should be a couple times past small star shattering levels of power right here in this exact moment with Frieza. His strength astronomically keeps increasing through each saga, even messing up the androids in a later saga, blitzing, strikes, and everything. Chopping off his arm in the process so he can't absorb his energy, because that was one of the abilities the android had, was to absorb energy via contact, physical contact. I already mentioned the fusion stuff earlier on how, like, near the end of the series, he's got, like, multiple different Namekians inside of him. Kami, which is basically the other side of himself, and another Namekian known as Nail. What if I told you there was a point Piccolo was actually stronger than the base weakest state of a Super Saiyan for a little bit, and was equal to the Android 17, who he had fought when he wasn't fused. Fusing with Kami made him drastically stronger to be above even the base form Super Saiyan. Both him and Android 17 were actually equals, when at first it was a very wide gap. As strong as 17. It lets you know the amount of improvements he's gained equals strength. There was even a point where he was even too much for imperfect Cell, before Cell had absorbed like a whole bunch of human souls to get stronger, of course. We know he's at least stronger than Goten and Trunks, at least in their base forms in a later saga. Fast forward to the events of Dragon Ball Super. It may be crazy to believe, but at this point in Dragon Ball Super, he's definitely above Super Saiyan 2 level beings like Cell, who had enough raw power to blast away the entire solar system. In Dragon Ball Super, it's proven that he can definitely hang on par with Super Saiyan 3-esque type of beings that are quite a bit above solar system shattering levels of power, like Ultimate Gohan, who was way above Super Saiyan 2 ranges. Heck, just a normal ki blast from Piccolo like this could damage him. Just let you know how far Piccolo has come. So it's safe to say he's in that blast away multiple solar systems club at the very least. In the newest manga, they talk about how him and Gohan working together, of course. They blast too hard, they can end the Earth. And one of the latest arcs that hasn't been animated yet, I hope it gets animated. It might not get animated, who knows. Piccolo has writer intent on his side because he was kind of getting left in the dust by Goku and Vegeta, so the writers wanted to change that. So he got his own new form, which apparently finally makes him comparable to Goku and Vegeta level power, currently in the story arc or in the anime. You guys already know from watching Goku and videos all throughout YouTube of his fight with Beerus, punching power, shaking the universe or threatening the universe. Goku has far since surpassed this red-haired state and has other forms like blue and even other states like white hair. You guys already know about Goku's punches being able to shake the entire macrocosm in weaker states like this, and Piccolo is supposed to be able to match a current Goku. I see no reason why current Piccolo's punches wouldn't be able to shake multiple universes as well. Depending on how you dissect or research the statements of Akira Toriyama's power level when it comes to the Dragon Ball superhero movie, he has to be at least comparable to Super Saiyan Blue levels. But then the argument could be made they could be talking about Ultra Instinct or Ultra Ego Goku Vegeta levels, but this hasn't appeared in animation as like forms they can just control at will. But if you're going by manga, and they were trying to push Piccolo in this narrative that he's up there with Moro arc level characters and stuff, or Granola arc level characters, considering that this is far in the future when Trunks and Goten are older, that would make a lot of sense too. But bare minimum, he's Super Saiyan Blue levels, no matter what you want to argue. But what do you guys think? Do you guys respect Piccolo? Do you think they're going to run with this? I hope they do in the future. Let's see how far Piccolo goes with his full potential unlocked. And he technically has 2 new different modes. Like you notice here how he's super green and gets slightly a different type of tint, and then gets the ultimate orange Piccolo mode where he gets big and brawly and bulky looking. Yeah, but do you guys respect his might? Piccolo has finally caught up to Goku and Vegeta after all these years of being on the sideline. Thanks for the donations, guys, though. Respect Piccolo. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.